But I just want to start off tonight's show. I want to do a little bit of a recap on transfers because, as I said, there is some transfer news coming in and out. You can see by the title of tonight's stream, we're kind of talking about maybe 2 in, maybe 2 out. There may be more happening down the line, but I just want to have a quick chat about the few bits and pieces that I picked up today. Starting with potential negatives, I suppose, and potential outgoings at Liverpool Football Club. It's been reported that Hertha Berlin are very interested in trying to sign Marko Grujic on a permanent loan. Now, as we know, Marko Grujic has been at Hertha Berlin all season. He's been doing really well for them. Praise has been heaped upon him by the Hertha manager, saying he's the best midfielder that they've had at that club. I think he said something like 20 years. And we'd also seen links from Marko Grujic towards Atletico Madrid. Now, Atletico are going to move on a couple of midfielders, and they were rumoured to be believed to be looking at him as a possible replacement. The only problem I have here is the two sets of figures that I've seen reported from Marko Grujic are vastly contrasting. The first set from Atletico Madrid was around 40 to 45 million. But today, when the talk is of Hertha Berlin, the figure is around 20 million. Now, I don't know what's going to happen with Marko Grujic, but I would suggest that 20 million is not enough for a player of his potential and a player that's had a pretty good season in Germany with Hertha. So keep an eye on that one. The second thing, and I know a lot of people aren't going to like this, but as I always say, take anything I say with a pinch of salt because I have no inside knowledge on the club. I'm just giving you guys the transfer gossip that I've picked up. What I've read, and a couple of things today, you go through different sites and they have lists of players who are potential outgoings. Well, one thing that I've read is that possibly Harry Wilson could be shown the door at Anfield this summer. Now, when I say shown the door, I don't mean that in a disrespectful way because I think Harry Wilson's a very talented young footballer. But it got me thinking, and what I'm wondering is, are we looking at a deal perhaps where we do sell Wilson to try and raise some funds or to try and bring in some money, but we have one of those kind of Jordan Ibe type deals where we've a buyback clause or a first refusal clause in that contract? Because we've all seen what Harry Wilson's capable of. He's had a very good season with Derby County in the Championship. They're in the playoff against Aston Villa, could be promoted to the Premier League. This one is one that I think we should keep an eye on. The general consensus really was that perhaps Harry Wilson would go out on loan. And I know a lot of people didn't even want that to happen. A lot of people wanted Harry Wilson to stay at Liverpool Football Club and be given an opportunity. So again, contrasting reports here, but do take everything I say with a pinch of salt. I don't claim to be a font of Liverpool transfer knowledge. I'm not an ITK. I'm just a fan that likes to give you my thoughts and the few bits and pieces that I've read. Now to the exciting stuff with regards to incomings. Just yesterday on the stream, I'd said that I hadn't seen much links to ZIYECH at Liverpool. Well, today that's all changed. It's rumoured that there's a £25 million fee that would get ZIYECH out of his contract at Ajax. Mark Overmars, I believe, has been talking about his future today as well. And I think I've seen a few former players and a couple of other media outlets are starting to report that maybe Liverpool are looking at ZIYECH as a possible addition to their striking or the forwards department. We know that Jurgen Klopp has been believed to not want to go and buy an out-and-out number 9 because, one, we have Bobby Firmino, we know Sadio Mane can play through the centre, Mo can play through the centre, Divock Origi's at the club as well, and of course we have young Ryan Brewster who's coming through and the Klopp regards very, very highly. So with this one, with ZIYECH, he's one that you guys have talked about for a long time. Some of you guys, right back to before the World Cup, people were saying how much they like ZIYECH at Liverpool. And last night, as I said, we said there hadn't been any serious links. That all changed today. Now, another couple of bits and pieces as well around this. We've had strong links today that Liverpool have sent scouts over, or had sent scouts over to watch Memphis Depay at LYON. I've spoken about Memphis Depay numerous times on this stream, and the only real negatives that I can have about him as a footballer were his temperament and sometimes his concentration. Now, that's not to say that I don't believe Memphis Depay isn't good enough to play for Liverpool Football Club. He absolutely is. And if Jurgen Klopp believes that his concentration levels and his attitude are absolutely spot on, then who am I to second guess Jurgen Klopp? Because Jurgen Klopp, he knows what he's about, and again, another very talented footballer that would slip in rather nicely to that front three of ours or provide cover rotation to the front three. A little bit of bad news now. From what I can read, again, from what I can gather, I believe Liverpool probably won't be going in for De Ligt. I really don't see the centre back as a massive issue. From what I'm reading, and I listened to something with Jamie Carragher earlier on, he believes Liverpool should be looking for that forward that I was just speaking about there. And then, of course, a full-back to provide cover on both sides. Lloyd Kelly is somebody who'd been mentioned, the guy from Bristol. He'd been rumoured quite seriously, actually, in a few places today, to a deal being quite close. Now, again, I can't confirm or deny these, but we do know we've looked at Lloyd Kelly before. We do know that he's had a very good season, and we do know that he kind of fits the mould of the type of transfer that Liverpool will be looking to do. So, on that, again, keep an eye on that one, because that one I think genuinely does have legs. And I suppose the last big name that I want to talk about before I go on and get into your comments tonight, ladies and gentlemen, is Julian Brandt. We know that Julian Brandt, whoever you want to pronounce his name, has that 21 or 22 million pound buyout clause in his Leverkusen contract. The argument or the battle around Julian Brandt was always, will he go out of Germany or will he stay in Germany? We know that Liverpool and Spurs have looked at him very strongly from the Premier League, but rumours and stuff coming out of Germany seems to suggest that he prefers the idea of staying in Germany and is perhaps eyeing up a move to Borussia Dortmund. Again, we're going to have to wait and see how this one unfolds, but I just wanted to do a quick recap of transfers because I know sometimes people come in late, and we're going to clip this up so people can get it later on in the shorter version, which is why I started off the stream tonight with that little bit of a transfer update. As always though, guys, take everything I say with a pinch of salt. I don't claim to be a font of Liverpool transfer knowledge. I'm just a fan like you guys who likes going through. I'm a bit of a transfer whore. I've said this before. I love reading up on transfer rumours. I get very excited during the transfer windows. But it looks like this window is pointing towards Liverpool strengthening in a couple of key areas, and we always knew we probably weren't going to have a window anywhere near as busy as the last one because it's about tweaking at this moment in time, about adding one or two bits of quality to what we already have at the club, and of course always showing a pathway through for the younger players. Now, with that in mind, I'll get on to your comments tonight, and as I said, thank you for allowing me this little bit of a chat at the start of the stream, because normally I go straight into your comments, but tonight I just wanted to start with that because I know people want transfer news, so we're going to cut that up. We're going to put it out in a little separate clip as well for people who are joining late and that don't have time to sit through an hour and 15, an hour and 20 minute content. So there you go.